Yeah, it goes everybody because they'll continue over the game called Caught in Your Web. Where were we? Ending list, we got ending one, so let's load it up. When she put it like that, I was inclined to agree. That was my initial thought when Anna first told me about the murders, that it was all a lie. It didn't make sense for a small town like this to have a serial killer in it. That was far too exciting for somewhere in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. I couldn't believe I actually let myself believe it was true. I shook my head. And it's true, crime fanaticism must be getting to me. Jane gave me an awkward smile. She could probably relate to being on the receiving end of Anna's rambles, considering they were roommates. Thank you for being here, and for calming me down. I really overreacted there. Sorry about that. You're very welcome. And if you really wanted to make it up to me, you could do something for me. Jane leaned forward in anticipation, warmed my blood. I barely suppressed my reverent cry of anything for you, ma'am. You could go on a date with me. Absolutely, 100% yes. It would be my honor. Great, where did you want to go? Where should we go on our third date? Let's go on a bookstore date. Let's go on a bookstore date. Jane froze for a second, looking a little shocked. Just when I started to worry if I said something wrong, she smiled. Sure, let's do that. Yippee. The next day, we took the bus to my favorite bookstore. It was in a relatively small building, especially for the area, but it was filled to the brim with a wide variety of books. My favorite part, however, was a small cafe attached to the store, where you could sit down and chat after browsing. After looking around for a bit and sharing some of my recommendations with Jane, we sat down at the cafe to chat. A bit of an awkward silence descended on us, so heavy that I couldn't bring myself to speak and dispel it. Jane had been acting a bit subdued during our date, and it was starting to eat me up inside. At first I was so excited that I would have stopped rambling, but when I noticed that Jane wasn't sharing my excitement, I could feel my enthusiasm shutting down. In the end, we walked over to the cafe in silence. Was it me? Was it because I got too excited from being in my element? I didn't mean to make Jane feel left out or overwhelmed. I just wanted to share my interest with her. I sighed. I wish I knew how to make Jane happy. I thought that she would appreciate seeing this more vulnerable side of myself, but I must have made a mistake somewhere. Now if you ever show your vulnerable side to anybody, they'll be like, oh, you're easy to manipulate, or, yeah, I don't want to deal with this, this kind of person. Hopefully I could still make it up to her. I'm sorry, did you want to go somewhere else? Jane gave me a gentle smile. Don't apologize, I was happy to look at the books you love. Just one sentence from Jane was enough to make my heart flutter. This wasn't what I had in mind for a date. My heart sunk. What do you mean by that? Well, this place is nice, but it's not necessarily date material. I wanted to go somewhere a bit more intimate with you. A proper date for once. What did you have in mind? Jane grabbed my hand and pulled me up from the table. I'll show you. Jane took me to the movies. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. In fact, I probably should have suggested watching a movie together in the first place. Going to the movies together was the quintessential date after all, and to Jane's credit, she did pick out a movie that aligned with my interests. She bought us tickets for the movie adaptation of one of the books I showed her at the bookstore in a movie I hadn't seen yet. The only problem was, this shit sucks ass. The fantasy locations, which were described so vividly in the book, looked flat and boring. The characters looked way older than they actually were. The costumes just looked flimsy, and did that character's pants just have pockets near the hip? Oh, hell no. The book specifically mentioned how their fantasy clothes have pockets near the ankle so it's not uncomfortable when you sit down. I remember that clearly because I thought, wow, that sounds so nice when I read it. I mean, not that women ever get pockets, but I digress. Most importantly, what the actual fuck? What was that? Was that just a makeout scene? Did they just YA-ify my middle grade fantasy book? YA? What the hell is YA? It sucked. This movie sucked balls. Oh wait, I think they're referring YA to young adult thing, yeah. I couldn't wait to get home and rate it 1 star with a lengthy review on all the things I did wrong. Then I was going to call Anna up and see if they're down for a hate watch. Suddenly my hand, which was clutched against the chair rest, in pure rage, was covered by another hand. I looked over to see Jane smiling down at me. Felt my hand relax in her hold, and with it the rest of the tension in my body seemed to flow away. That's right. I was here for Jane. In the end, as frustrating as the shitty adaptation was, it didn't matter. Nothing truly mattered, except for Jane. I needed to remember that. Right. After our date, Jane and I stood near the bus stop, silently watching cars pass by as we waited for the bus to bring us back to campus. Despite the day still being warm, it was starting to get chilly at night, and I regretted not bringing the jacket. Jane seemed to feel the same way as we both unconsciously started to huddle up next to each other. Jane let out a shake of breath that tickled my hair, and that's when I noticed just how close we were standing. Jane seemed to notice as well, but instead of short-circuiting like I was doing, she smirked and reached a hand out. Jane lifted some of my hair and twirled it around her fingers, leaning ever so closely into my space. My heartbeat was so loud, and we were standing so close together that I wouldn't be surprised if Jane heard it. Did you have fun today? I felt so flustered that I couldn't remember anything that we did today. Yeah, I was with you after all. I'm glad to hear it. This is going to be good to... Oh well. Glad to hear it. Jane's voice became softer as she leaned in, her lips almost on mine. This is good, what do you call it? Yeah, there you go. Good thumbnail material. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. Next, I closed my eyes, anticipating the moment her lips would touch mine and we could share our first kiss. But when I didn't feel anything, I peeked my eyes open. Jane was still smiling down on me, but there seemed to be a bit of a humor lighting her eyes. What a tease. This was definitely a belated realization, but I was starting to wonder if Jane had something of a sadistic streak. I don't go around kissing girls who aren't my girlfriend, you know. For a second my heart dropped, afraid that Jane was actually seeing someone other than me and I was just a side piece. But when I noticed the amused expectation, in Jane's gaze, I realized that it was an invitation. Then can I be your girlfriend, please? Jane giggled. I thought you'd never ask. Okay, so this is it. And then she kissed me, making our relationship official. And everything was perfect. Isn't that so wonderful, Anna? I let out another dreamy sigh after I finished recounting my third date with Jane, Savannah, before class. But Anna didn't react in the excited way I expected her to. Do you seriously think I'd be happy for you? After you blew me off last night? Well, yeah, we're best friends. God, she's so insufferable. What a dick. Should you be happy for me no matter what? At the expense of your friendship? Come on, dude. I could feel my face starting to flush in a telltale sign of anger. I was trying to share my excitement in finally becoming official with my crush, and they were still going on about something that happened days ago. Some friend you are. What was that? Anna sighed. I was hurt when you said those things to me, Camellia. And I know you just want to focus on Jane, but because of that I got hurt. You hurt me. A wave of guilt soured my stomach, but my annoyance quickly won out. Sorry you were hurt. Anna stood up from her seat. That's not how you apologize. I'm still not sure what I should be apologizing for. You're the one who decided to butt in the first place. If Anna hadn't courted me in the bar to tell me to break things off with Jane, then I wouldn't have needed to say those harsh things to her. You know, you have a huge attitude problem, especially when you're neck deep in one of your obsessions. Even though those obsessions always fade away when you find the next poor sucker to attach yourself to, you still act like a total bitch in the meantime. No wonder nobody puts up with you. Ha ha. Get him, Anna. I love you. You wouldn't treat me like this if you truly loved me. Can't you see that you're the problem? I already knew. I think we'd both be better off if you saw other people, actually. Should probably not see anyone else, not until you fix your head at least. I was painfully aware of how fucked up I was, and yet, here you are, not doing anything about it. Stop stalking me, crazy woman. We're over. I knew no one could accept me. You're getting in the way. I can't deal with you being an attention whore. I'm busy. No one even tolerates me. You were the one who betrayed me. Just leave me alone already. It wouldn't be long before I lost everyone. No wonder nobody puts up with you. I already know that. Some of the classmates who were sitting close to us openly watching our argument backed away at my scream. No, Camilla, I didn't mean it. I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. Well, you did say it. Oh, great. You did mean it. I'm a terrible friend, a worthless human being. I do nothing but leech off of others to make up for the fact that not once have I ever been loved or wanted. I fucking know. I was clutching my chest, my breaths coming out rough and strained. My vision was blurring. Camellia, I know that what I have with Jane will not last. Of course I know, because it never does. Everyone leaves me because I'm too much, yet I can't change. Then go to a hospital or whatever. Check yourself into an asylum. Even you will leave me. I couldn't breathe. But I couldn't stop lashing out, using my pain as a weapon to hurt my only friend. I was not in control. I never was, of course. Yeah, I'm not in control. I was in a dark place. Go fuck yourself with this stupid ass, dumb ass excuses. Always the same fucking thing. I was in a dark place. Oh, I didn't mean to groom a minor. I was in a vulnerable state. Shut up. Stop with this fucking dumbass bullshit excuses. If you're truly serious about changing, you should be consulting with a professional or whatever. Seeing a therapist. Or, checking yourself in a mental rehabilitation center or whatever. It never was. Camellia, please, You say that I'm worthless, terrible friend. No, I never. You're just as bad. Oh, wow. So Anne is more terrible for pointing out the fact that you are a total fucking bitch? God damn it, Anna, I am with you. I am on your side. I can't tolerate people like Camellia. I've met people like Camellia. I have been friends with a person like Camellia, and they keep on gassing you up. They keep on manipulating you. They won't, just like the title of a game, caught in your web. They will fucking murder you if it meant they were gonna get something out of it. You push your interests onto others with no regard for their comfort, and you push your bullshit onto others, disregarding others. So, what are we doing here? What do you want to do? You say that I'm neck deep in obsession, but what about you? You're so fucking caught up in rumors and myths that your paranoia has rubbed off on even me. What are you... You had me so paranoid that I was running away from someone who needed my help, convinced that he was a murderer. If not for Jane, I could have gotten hurt in my frenzy. All because you wanted to play detective for something that wasn't even real. But it is real. Please believe me. Just the other day, there was another body found in the forest outside the administrative... Stop lying to me. Rana blessedly shut up as we both took hoarse breaths, trying to calm down. My ears were ringing, but I was starting to become aware of the crowd that had formed around us. Anna took a deep breath before speaking in an even tone. Jane was the one who told you the murders weren't real. It wasn't a question. Even with how upset I was, I knew how pointless it would be to confirm or deny it. There was no one else who could have told me. I didn't speak to anyone else. I can't get through to you when you have tunnel vision for her. But that's fine. I could solve this on my own. Solve what? A bit of unease tugged at my chest. I will save you, Camellia. And then they left, with little regard for our class that was about to start. Good for you, Anna. Walk off that terrible, toxic friendship. A million feelings hit me, too complex to decipher. The feelings overwhelmed me, so I let it out with a choked laugh. Save me. Save me? Like I was some damsel in distress? Is that a question mark? Yeah. Like I was a broken, fucked up person with more than a few screws loose. Like I was nothing but an unwanted child. Like no matter how much I tried, none of the artificial supplements of love I demanded of others made up for the fact that my own mother never once showed me an ounce. Oh, okay. I thought it said showed me an ounce of affection. I hated this. I never wanted to be seen. Never wanted anyone to notice just how fucked up I was inside. Great job at doing that, bitch. I hated feeling transparent. I knew I needed help, but I hated therapy for the same reason I hated psychology. I hated that all my problems could be reduced to a checklist. Neglected by my mother? Check. Throwing myself out to anyone who shows me a hint of affection so I feel wanted? Check. So scared of an actual connection that I push away anyone who gets close to me? Check. Diagnosis: mommy issues. It was so stupid. I wasn't even a kid anymore. There was no reason why I should still be acting like this, why I couldn't ever change my habits. As much as I tried to convince myself that I was more complex than that there was no clinical explanation for the things I did or the way I acted, I knew at my core that I was so simple it disgusted me. Well, at least you don't have, an OnlyFans daddy issues. No matter how much I tried, I could never shake that pathetic little girl who just wanted her mommy to look at her. But what was even more painful was when I could tell that someone noticed. I wasn't interesting. I wasn't likable. Yep, yes you are not. I was missing a fundamental part of myself that was supposed to make me human. I was just a fucking basket case. Damn it. Alright. And I've calmed down. I was sitting in front of the TV at home, barely paying attention as the news droned on while I ate ice cream out of a tub. It was mint chocolate chip, my mom's favorite. Ugh, mint. Toothpaste flavor. But my mom wasn't home like usual, so I helped myself. Well, I could get chewed out later, and eating ice cream out of the tub felt as pathetic as it sounded, but it felt nice to fuck up on purpose for once. I was starting to feel guilty for lashing out at Anna, but my damn pride wouldn't let me just call her and apologize, so I distracted myself by stealing mom's ice cream and zoning out in front of the TV. I sighed. As terrible as I felt earlier, well, I was still alive, so I had to continue living with it. Life goes on and all that. Still, I was desperate for some escape from my misery. Jane's face popped up in front of me and decided how gorgeous she was. She even looked beautiful with tears streaming down her face. Although I had never seen her cry before, Wait, what? Jane was actually crying, and she was actually on the TV, not some figment of my imagination. I scrambled for the remote to turn the volume up. Whose roommate was attacked by a man with a knife. Anna Faro, the victim, was stabbed twice, but managed to escape and get help from a passerby before she was fatally wounded. She is in the hospital now and is expected to make a full recovery. My blood froze and I dropped the tub of ice cream in my hand. Anna was stabbed? I watched numbly as Jane told reporters about how she returned to the dorms to see Anna being carried off by paramedics. She was barely able to squeeze her story out between sobs. I never expected Jane to have such an emotional outburst. Was this my fault? Yep. Anna's final words to me echoed in my head, and suddenly, I couldn't shake the fear that Anna threw themselves into danger to try to prove something to me, all because I lashed out at them. What was I supposed to do about this? My attention snapped back to the TV when I saw a picture of a familiar face. Has identified the perpetrator as 18-year-old Adam Johnson. Police are currently searching for his whereabouts as we speak. Adam? As in my idiotic ex? What the hell? Did he go off the deep end after we broke up or something? It didn't seem like him. Something was adding up. No, that wasn't what was important right now. What was important was what happened. I was really worried about Anna. Sure, I still felt some lingering resentment from our argument, but we had been best friends for 5 years. She stuck with me through some of the worst years of my life, and I couldn't help but feel like what happened was my fault. I needed to make sure that they were okay, and I needed to apologize. But I was also worried about Jane. I'd never seen her so upset before. What happened with Anna really must have terrified her, and I couldn't imagine how scared she must be with Adam still on the loose. I wanted to at least check on her and make sure she was okay. I might not have been the best person, but I need to try to be a good girlfriend at least. What should I do? Check on Anna. Let's go from top to bottom. Choosing choices. Tried calling Anna's phone, but it went straight to voicemail like she had it off. Well, it's because, what was that? She got stabbed. I think she has the energy to go through her phone or something. Oh man, it started raining. I suppose it made sense considering they were in the hospital. So next I tried calling Anna's parents, and they told me that She was conscious and okay with visitors. After getting the hospital address from them, I drove her to see Anna. Let's see. Wonder if I'm thinking, is this rainy state enough to ruin the recording or what? I'm gonna check with the editing later. Anna's parents familiar with me from many times I hung out at their house. Let me go in on my own, unaware of the huge argument we had just that morning. Guilt and fear swirled in my stomach as I stepped towards her bedside, the smell of chemicals burning my nose. Anna stared up at me, perhaps shocked that I was there. She looked tired in a word. Their normally dark skin was far paler than I was used to seeing. Their eyes a bit more dazed, and a grotesque assortment of tubes and wires were affixed across their chests and arms. She didn't appear to be in pain, at least at that moment. She looked far weaker than I had ever seen her. It was at that moment that I realized I had almost lost my best friend. They smiled. I'm glad you're okay, Camellia. Swallowed down the sob. Why are you worrying about me when you're the one in pain? Well, because you're a fucking narcissistic bitch that needs to be pampered every goddamn time. Anna looked away for a second. She looked back at me. I always worry about you. I had a feeling that wasn't the full truth, but I wasn't about to grill Anna for answers when they were like this. Are you okay? What do you think? I came in right after hearing what happened, so I didn't get the chance to ask the doctors about your recovery. Anna shook her head. Never mind me. Never mind you? Oh shit. Let me go back to that. I have something I need to talk to you about. Anna's voice stuck on the serious note that had me leaning forward in anxious anticipation. You can't trust Jane. Tamp down the annoyance inside me. Now wasn't the time. If this is about... Anna tried to lift her hand up, but the wires got in the way. Frustrated, she shook her head. It's not about your love life or anything like that. This is my own suspicion. I think Jane was the one who attacked me. I frowned. The news report said differently. But Adam was the one who did it. Yes, Adam was the one who stabbed me. And his face seemed to grow impossibly paler. But I think he was just acting as a proxy for Jane. Earlier today, after our disagreement, I opened Jane's safe. What she had inside. Anna's gaze turned distant. You wouldn't believe me if I told you. I took pictures, but I think Jane noticed that I did somehow. God damn, it's raining so hard, man. Before I could reach you, Adam jumped me and smashed my phone. Anna let out a frustrated or perhaps pained groan. I should have uploaded the pictures to the cloud or sent them to you sooner or shared them with the police or something. Damn it. A chill was spreading through my chest to a call for the fire to thaw. You really think Jane did it? Jane might have some troubles of her own, but that doesn't mean she would intentionally hurt others. I have a good reason to believe that she has no qualms against harming me. I also believe that she has planned something much worse. Wow! It's really raining hard, man. Let me just wait for, I don't know, a couple of minutes for the rain to subside. Hopefully it subsides. Hopefully. Well, looks like the rain isn't going to subside anytime soon, so let's continue on. I also believe that she had planned something much worse. But I know that you won't trust me if I told you. They were right, I probably won't trust whatever accusation they had towards Jane. It went against my very nature. Your very nature is very fucking stupid. I told the police, but I don't trust them to do anything. So you have to. Open Jane's safe, Camellia. See for herself what she has hidden inside. It felt like a gross invasion of privacy, but the curiosity was something that I couldn't ignore. But I wasn't one to care much about privacy anyways. And I wasn't often that Anna was this insistent. Instead of arguing with her, I nodded. Okay, I will. Go now. Be quick. Oh my god, the rain is getting much, much worse. I have a feeling that Jane won't dispose of any of it, but just in case. The password is your birthday. And Camellia? Yeah? Anna handed me the key to their dorm. Be safe, Camellia. Return to the door. I will. I texted Jane asking her to meet me at the bar in a few. It was a distraction, of course. When I was entirely convinced that Jane was asking a guy to stab your best friend type, just the thought of Jane keeping something from him was enough to get my anxiety spiking. I wasn't the kind of girlfriend who was above snooping either. Of course you are. I drove to Anna's and Jane's dorm and unlocked the door, purposely avoiding gawking at the entrance. When sneaking into a place, it was best to act as if you belonged. The dorm room was mostly plain with a handful of small phantom decorations. I assume denoted Anna's side of the room. Wait, so I guess all the police people, the forensics, all of them were fine now? They were done with their investigation? Alright. Yeah, they decided a sizable black safe next to the bed. That was likely what I was looking for. I input my birthday as Anna instructed and the safe clicked open. Inside was a pile of envelopes, folders, and paper. A large pile at that. Knowing that I likely didn't have much time to go through it, I skimmed and took pictures that I went to examine more thoroughly later. On top of it was a thick collection of letters clipped together. I skimmed a handful of them to see that there were correspondences between Jane and a person named Isabel. The contents were mushy and disgusting. If I had my way, I would burn it, but I shouldn't leave too much evidence of my snooping. What assuaged me, is that how you pronounce it? I don't know. Was it the letters were dated from a few years ago, so at least Jane wasn't cheating on me now. Though it angered me to know that there was someone she loved so much she was willing to be cheesy for her sake, yet I could barely get her to give me a single compliment. Shaking my annoyance away, I continued digging. Next was a plain folder filled with pictures of Idiot? Adam. The pictures were of him sneaking into what looked like an administrative office. There was a USB, but I didn't have a computer on me, so I didn't check it. There were enough pictures for me to clock exactly what this was anyways. Blackmail material. But why? I dug deeper into the folder but was shocked when I came across pictures of me and another man. Except I never took any of these pictures. In fact, I never even met the man. Yet there was an image of us hugging, of us taking a selfie together as I kissed his cheek, of me clinging onto his arm. These photos weren't real. They couldn't be. It must have been AI or something. I seriously couldn't recognize this man. What the fuck? Why did Jane have photos of this? Did she generate these photos herself? For what reason? At that moment, I remembered something that Adam had said. Well, that's convenient. I spent all this time and effort making you feel comfortable. I deleted my social media. I barely even talked to my classmates. I spent all my time with you because you get so insecure when I don't. And I was happy to. Because I love you, Camellia. But yet I wasn't enough for you. My love wasn't enough for you, and you cheated on me. So don't give me this bullshit about how much you devoted yourself to me. You were the one who betrayed me. Just leave me alone already. No, okay. Did Jane break me and Adam up? I thought Adam was just an idiot who hallucinated me cheating on him, but if he saw these images that Jane made, then yeah, I could see him believing it. Unsure how to think about that, I opened the next folder. This time, I found an undoctored, candid photo of myself. On the paper under it was personal information including my age, date of birth, past schools and employment, and even my family situation. Noticing something through the paper, I turned it around to see a handwritten list of impressions. First date. She has a similar personality, but her circumstances are just too different. Further testing is needed. Second date. She was quite receptive and I introduced her to my favorite place. I was starting to enjoy teasing her. Her easily trusting nature reminds me so much of her. Third date. Her interests are too different. At least she was willing to go along with my suggestion, but perhaps that's just me still trying to hold on to hope. Maybe she's another failure. We're official now, but I'm still unsure if she's the right pick, but I don't want to drag this out for much longer. It will make me all the more suspicious when Camellia disappears. I'll make my decision the next time we see each other again. I have to. I dropped the paper. I didn't know how to respond. The folders underneath had similar profiles to mine, though the back of the papers all ended with the same word written in dark, bold letters. Failure. I picked a random girl and googled her name on my phone. The first result was a local news report from another state that detailed the research efforts the town was conducting to try to find the girl I googled. Wait a second. So she just brings this black safe whenever she moves or something? Okay then, yeah. Good news for the moving guys. The news report was from 3 years ago. A little more searching revealed that her body was later found with its throat slit. The hot lady killer. Realizing this what Anna was warning me about, I took a hasty picture. I reached for the next folder to look through, but paused when I noticed a shadow over me. What Before I could turn around, I felt something heavy collide with my head, and everything turned black. It was Adam. I awake in the storage room beneath the theater stage to my head, splitting, my arms tied up, mighty regrets and self-loathing, and only a faint flicker of that flame I call love in my chest. Even after reviewing everything that happened between Jane and I still can't tell where things went wrong. It's not you, it's her. I mean, both of you are fucked up, but yeah. I don't want to acknowledge the obvious answer. Things were wrong from the start. Maybe I should be concerned about how much I'm reflecting on the past. Like how they say your life flashes before your eyes before you die. But all I can feel is a numb pain. The thudding noise above me quiets, and soon after I hear footsteps in the hallway. They are loud, steady, sure, and also leisurely, like a huntress approaching her trapped prey. I struggle into a sitting position. After a simultaneous eternity and single second, the door opens and in walks her, Jane. She smiles at me as this is our fourth date, as if she didn't knock me out and drag me down here. I'm surprised that you're not screaming. What would be the point? No one comes down here, no one would hear. No, I would just be tiring myself out. I'm not interested in theatrics, and I know they won't get me anywhere. Not with Jane, especially not if Jane is willing to go this far. I know there's a very low chance I will survive. But there's a reason why I'm still alive, why Jane didn't kill me while I was unconscious. And I want to know. I want to know if the flickering sparks in my chest can ever be ablaze again, or if it will be snuffed out for good. Sometimes you're so similar to her that I almost think you're the same person. But then you say things like that, and it reminds me of just how different you are. Though that cleverness makes you slightly more tolerable than the average person. What? Cleverness? She's clever? In what way? Is that supposed to be a compliment? Somehow I can't bring myself to thank her for it, especially since I'm all tied up and stuff. Who is that person you keep comparing me to? I think back to the letters I found in Jane's safe. Isabel? Jane crouches down in front of me, pulling out a pocket knife and flipping it open. I fight the urge to lean away. Instead of answering my question, Jane asks her own. Have you ever wanted a moment to last forever? Of course. My 7th birthday. The first and last time my mom was free enough from work and willing to be affectionate enough to celebrate my birthday with me. It was my favorite childhood memory. Right? I think it would be hard to find someone who didn't have a moment they wanted to last forever. I also have a moment I wanted to last forever. Several moments, actually. A stranger gazed at a wall past me, though I have a feeling what she's looking at is much further away in space and time. Isabel and I first started going out at the beginning of high school. She was perfect. She made me believe that maybe I could find my own happily ever after, even if I was a disappointment to my parents. The words cut. I know the torture would be less painful than having to listen to this. On the look on Jane's face, it isn't the look of someone thinking back to their bittersweet first love. It's the look of someone who is still in love. Something sparks in my chest, but it isn't affection. Although we kept our relationship a secret, the months we spent together were bliss. It was much more sentimental back then, far less jaded. I recorded everything. Our first date, our first touch, our first kiss, the first time we had get to the point. Well, my parents found my journal and forbade me from seeing Isabel again. They wanted me to break up with her. They went as far as to transfer me to a school in another state. But I couldn't leave Isabel. She is everything to me. I asked her to run away with me, but she didn't wanna. She said that we would be better off if we broke up. Her grip tightens on the knife she's holding. She said that we were too young to decide our lives based on something my homophobic parents said. That maybe it would be better to let things blow over and then reunite when we were adults. Hey, that's actually a level-headed decision-making there. But when I thought about her forgetting about me, when I thought about her touching somebody else, something familiar gleams in Jane's eyes. Obsession. I snapped. I gave her one last hug, pulled my knife out and slashed her across the throat. Great job. The one perfect person that you thought was perfect for you, and I decided to kill him. Nice. So I'm gonna end it here because I have to prepare for work now. So this is caught in your web. Alright, okay. This is funny. If you want to try to get for yourselves, the links are in the description. That is all for today. Stay safe and take care of yourselves. I wonder if what if I chose, like, this part. What if I went to check on Jane? Would she have killed me immediately? Yeah. But we'll find out later or some other time. Bye.